So you basically just got confirmation from her that she didn't really see who was on the other side of the fence. The only way that she knew is because she heard his voice and she's heard his voice before. What I would say to that, Donish, is it possible that that was someone else's voice? And I'd probably be getting into the fact that she just got hit in the face with a board. How would she know? Is she in a bit of a stressful situation and maybe can't just identify loud speaking voices when you just got a broken nose? So get into all that.
Okay. Ms. Plaintiff, how did it feel to be hit in?
No, you don't want to get that. She's gonna tear you up right now. Be like, oh, it hurt like crazy, yeah. I'm dying every day. I had to take Vicodin for 6 months, you addict. You got problems, Polly.
Well, it cost $50,000, so there you go.
Ms. Plaintiff, how would it be possible that you were in pain?
No, I would say,
I was in pain, yeah.
I'd just nail her with one big question, Josh. I'd say, so you're telling me that you recognize the voice of your neighbor right after you got hit in the face with a board in that moment?
So, Ms. Plaintiff, you are telling me that you were able to recognize the voice of your neighbor clearly while you had been hit by the board in your nose in that instance?
Yes.
But you said the question, Donish, is you laid out that question of how I put it there is that the jury heard the question. So you're telling me, and I always say it kind of like sarcastically and kind of like I'm a jerk. You're telling me that in the heat of a moment after you just got hit in the face with a 2x4, without being able to see the other side of the fence, that you positively identified your neighbor as the one yelling, "I got her"? And she'll say yes. But I still, and yeah, you didn't get the answer you want. You usually don't get the answer you want. Okay, that's the way this works. And that was this lesson today, is all about how, wow, this isn't as you would expect, is it?
Nope.
It's never as you expect. The witness always answers the questions a little differently than you expect. So you have to be on your feet. You have to be on point, on your feet. Not when you're objecting, that doesn't matter as much, but when you're asking the questions, you have to be on point. And expect that and rethink the whole situation like that. That's what questioning witnesses is. I'll tell you another couple things. I'm going to stop you guys and let you guys go be free. What we'll do next week is we'll be, and this is okay, those witnesses that I gave you a thing, bring that home. Do not share that with anybody. I don't want this to get screwed up. Do not share the information with everybody else, okay? Polly, everybody who got a sheet, do not share the information with anybody, because that just kills this. This is for fun, guys. This is a fun class. Everybody who shows up the 4 out of 5 is going to get credit, and that's it. But what I want to do, take out of this is, you guys are coming here. I want to train you how to do trial work. It is the scariest part as an attorney to do trial work. Okay, my first trial, I must have thrown up like twice the night before and the morning of. Now I go in there and I'm just clean. I don't have any nervousness. Couple things that I noticed. Greg did great questioning, but Greg was a little too what?
Intense.
Aggressive. That's what was beautiful about Donish. He was very polite. Donish is a very polite fellow, as we all know. He was very polite. He was calm in his voice. He was not getting all up in her face. He wasn't. He was just calm. And what this is that has nothing to do with the law. It's psychological. If you look like an a-hole as an attorney, some jurors are going to go like, oh, I hate this guy. I'm going to side against his client because I hate the attorney. I'll tell you, a friend of mine, and it drove me nuts. She's no longer. I never really talk to this friend anymore because it pissed me off so bad. She's like, oh yeah, I was a juror the other day. I was like, oh really? And what happened? Oh, personal injury case. And I said, oh, what decision? She says, well, I didn't like the cuffs on the lawyer, so I went for the defense.
What?
I went, knock her off the list of friends. Because really? But that's the silliness that you deal with, is that we're in reality. We're not in the law school bubble as lawyers. We're not in the law school bubble at trial. We're not in the law school bubble when we're asking questions. These are people. This is real. Real people that are going to give you real answers that you're not expecting or that you're not wanting. And the whole point of this is to tailor your questions in a way such as to not let out the information that you don't want them to let out, and to get out the information that you do. So it's all, and all while you do this, you have to make sure you design your questions so as not to be objectionable. Okay? That's the lesson from today, is that you never know what these people are going to say. You do to a large extent. Why do we have depositions? Do you now know? So you don't get surprised. Because when you do a deposition, are you in front of a jury? No, you're in a room. So that's why I always take a deposition of every major witness. I don't take the depositions of the minor little witnesses that are just corroborating one factor or two. I'll probably send them a letter or whatnot, or I can send them third-party interrogatories, basically asking a question, just to make sure I have something recorded down as to what I expect them to testify to. Why would I do that?
Not surprised.
So if I get surprised, then what do?
You can impeach it.
I can impeach it with the deposition transcript or with their responses to form interrogatories or special interrogatories or whatnot, requests for admissions. That's what discovery is about. Discovery is about learning about your case so you don't come in here and get surprised. You still will get surprised a little bit, but that's why you need to have good discovery. You need to have good depositions where you ask all the questions that are relevant to the case. Okay? This is where the rubber meets the road, people, is that this is what we do. This is now my favorite part of being a lawyer. I love going to trial against people. But I only do it if I think it's necessary. Like if the other side is not offering me a sufficient settlement. But I make sure to do all sorts of discovery first so I know where I think that this case should settle first. And then if it's not going to settle, then I take it to trial and at least I'm prepared. The worst thing that people do is that they go to trial and they're not prepared. They didn't prep for it. So that's what this is all about today. And to see how objections work. And can you see how hard this is? Jennifer? It's hard to get these questions out, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, when you're in that stressful situation and you've got an attorney that objects everything, it's tough. It's tough. You've got to have a thick skin in this game, people, if you're a litigation attorney. Litigation attorney, you have to have thick skin. I'd have jumped off a cliff a long time ago if I had weak skin, because I'll tell you, it can hit you like a ton of bricks. Civil litigation, criminal litigation, where you're doing trial work. That's why a lot of attorneys, they do contract work, or they'll be in-house counsel for a company, or they'll do copyright work, or trademark work, or all sorts of things, or probate, where you really don't have to question witnesses, because it's scary. Okay? Was this enjoyable?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So next week, you'll be receiving an email from me over the weekend. And it's going to be some evidence. And we're going to talk about how next week, the first witness is going to be, I'm hoping to go a little longer next week, and hopefully a couple other people will show up so we have a little more of a quorum of people here. But what I'd like to do is teach you guys how do you lay a foundation for bringing in evidence. That's really critical. People don't know how to do that a lot. How to make sure that you bring in originals and all of that, okay? So that's what we'll be doing next week. We'll be using the same set of witnesses. We'll be moving on from Polly, the crappiest witness on the planet. I told her to be, and she really took that to heart, didn't you? You're a difficult witness I put on there. Be sure not to tell anything. She did a great job of it. So we move forward now, and next week we'll do that. Follow? You guys enjoy this and happy, content? All right, go home, guys. Have a nice night. Drive safely.
Thank you.
And Polly, if you could send me that video via
Yeah.
email,
Yep, I will.
that would be great. And if